The day dawned bright and clear over Valora, yet the calm of the morning was deceptive. While the city had survived the cosmic storm thanks to Captain Aaron Hale's guidance, the aftereffects still lingered. Energy systems were stabilizing, minor repairs were ongoing, and the council convened to review lessons learned. For Princess Leora, however, the events of the past days had sparked a profound change in understanding. The human before her was no ordinary visitor. He was a symbol of what her people had long underestimated. Leora stood on the balcony of the palace, overlooking the city that now hummed with renewed life. The sunlight glinted off the crystal towers, reflecting in patterns that reminded her of the precision and resilience humans had shown. During the storm, she thought of Aaron, calm, confident, patient, guiding her counselors when her own people hesitated. She realized that Valorans had been too proud, too attached to old beliefs to see the truth clearly. "Your Highness," Aaron said gently, joining her on the balcony, "the systems are stable, and the citizens are safe. Valora has endured the storm. Your leadership, combined with our efforts, saved many lives today." Leora turned, her golden eyes meeting his. "Captain Hale, I underestimated your people. I doubted your facts, your strength, your ingenuity. But now, I see the truth. Humans are extraordinary, not because of size or strength alone, but because of spirit, unity, and intelligence." Aaron smiled faintly. "Thank you, Princess. Humanity has faced disbelief before. We survive, adapt, and grow stronger. That is what makes us resilient." Leora's lips curved into a thoughtful smile. "I must admit, it is humbling. I taught my people to see humans as weak. I have doubted what you called facts, but seeing them in action, in truth, has changed me, and I think it may change Valora as well." Aaron inclined his head. "That is all anyone can hope for: understanding, respect, and cooperation." The council gathered in the central hall later that morning. Princess Leora addressed them with a calm authority that carried both pride and humility. "Counselors, for generations we have been taught that humans are weak, fragile, and incapable of contributing meaningfully to our society. I now realize this is not true. Captain Aaron Hale has demonstrated through trials, observation, and action that humans are resilient, intelligent, and capable of remarkable achievements. We were wrong to underestimate them." The council murmured among themselves. Some nodded in agreement, others remained thoughtful. Valorans were proud, and accepting a challenge to tradition was not simple. But the evidence was undeniable. Aaron had coordinated their response to the storm, solved complex problems, and shown patience and wisdom beyond expectation. Leora continued, her voice firm. "From this day forward, humans shall be recognized not as strangers or lesser beings, but as allies. Their ingenuity and resilience are qualities we can admire, learn from, and cooperate with. We owe them respect, as they have earned it." The counselors exchanged glances, and slowly, one by one, they voiced their agreement. The air was filled with a mixture of relief, excitement, and curiosity. Valora had survived the storm, yes, but they had also survived a challenge to their pride. And in doing so, they had gained a deeper understanding of another species, one they had long misunderstood. Aaron stepped forward, bowing slightly. "I am honored, Your Highness, to receive your recognition. But it is not only for humans that this moment matters, it is for all species, who can learn from one another. Cooperation and understanding are stronger than pride or doubt." Leora regarded him with respect, a warmth in her gaze that had not been there before. "You have taught me much, Captain Hale, not just about humans, but about leadership, humility, and the importance of seeing the truth, even when it challenges everything we believe." The princess paused, then smiled. "I wish to make this official. Humans shall be invited to work with Valorans on projects of exploration, science, and defense. Our histories, once hidden or misunderstood, shall be studied and appreciated. And you, Captain Hale, shall be recognized not only as a visitor, but as a valued ally of Valora." The counselors applauded, and even some of the more skeptical members nodded in acknowledgement. A shift had occurred. Valora was no longer bound by tradition alone. They were open to learning, adapting, and cooperating in ways they had never imagined. Humanity had earned a place in their history and in their future. Later that day, Leora and Aaron walked through the city streets, observing the repairs and restoration. Citizens went about their lives with quiet pride, grateful that their leaders had acted wisely. The storm had tested them, yes, but it had also brought them closer to a greater understanding of the galaxy and its inhabitants. Your people are impressive, Leora said quietly, not just in your actions, but in your spirit. You teach by example, and your patience is remarkable. Aaron smiled. Humans have learned that survival depends on more than strength. We rely on intellect, observation, cooperation, and the will to endure. Those qualities allow us to face challenges and grow stronger with each one. Leora nodded. And today, you have shown me all of that, perhaps. It is time Valora adopts some of these lessons as well. She glanced at the bustling city around them, then back at him. I hope this is only the beginning of a lasting alliance between humans and Valorans. Aaron's eyes gleamed with quiet pride. I believe it will be, Princess. Humanity has always sought to explore, to learn, and to share knowledge. We thrive through cooperation, not conflict. Together, our species can accomplish far more than either could alone. The sun began to set over Valora, casting long shadows across the crystal towers. The city glowed in a warm light, reflecting the optimism of its people. Humanity had proven itself not through force or intimidation, but through intelligence, resilience, and the quiet power of cooperation. That evening, the palace held a ceremony to honor the cooperation between humans and Valorans. Citizens gathered in the Grand Plaza, curious and excited. Leora stepped onto the stage, Aaron at her side. The crowd fell silent as she spoke. People of Valora, she began. For generations we have misunderstood humans. We believed them weak, fragile, and incapable. Today, we have witnessed their strength, intelligence, and resilience. Today, humanity has proven that we are stronger together than apart. Let this day mark the beginning of a new era of understanding, respect, and cooperation between our species. The crowd erupted in applause. Humans and Valorans alike felt a sense of pride and unity. Aaron stood quietly beside Leora, knowing that their partnership had begun not just with survival, but with mutual respect and shared values. After the ceremony, Leora and Aaron walked through the plaza. Children waved and pointed at Aaron, fascinated by the human who had helped their city survive. Elder counselors approached him with questions, eager to learn more about human techniques and strategies. Everywhere he looked, curiosity and respect mingled. Leora finally spoke, her voice soft but steady. Captain Hale, you have not only proven your people's abilities, but you have also shown me the importance of questioning assumptions and embracing the truth, even when it challenges pride. I am grateful for your guidance. Aaron bowed slightly. Thank you, Princess. It has been an honor to serve both humanity and Valora. I hope this alliance continues to grow and flourish for many years. Leora smiled, her golden eyes reflecting the last rays of the sun. It will. Together, we can face any challenge. And your species, your spirit, will always be remembered as a turning point for Valora. As night fell, the stars above Valora sparkled brilliantly. The city was safe, its people inspired, and a new alliance had been forged. Humanity had earned respect not through conquest, but through demonstration of its strengths, ingenuity, patience, cooperation, and resilience. And Princess Leora, once proud and skeptical, now stood as a symbol of understanding and openness. She had seen the truth of humanity, not lies, not exaggeration, but undeniable capability. She knew that this day would be remembered for generations, a story of trust, respect, and the power of the human spirit shining across the stars. Captain Aaron Hale looked to the horizon, feeling a quiet pride. Humanity had faced doubt countless times before, yet time and patience had always proven its worth. Now, on Valora, another chapter of that story had been written. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and opportunities, but humanity was ready. And with Valora as an ally, the future had never looked brighter. The next morning, Valora was bathed in a soft pink glow as the sun rose over its crystal towers. Princess Leora was still restless, her thoughts tangled with doubts and curiosity. Captain Aaron Hale had passed every trial with skill and composure. Yet she could not completely let go of her skepticism. Humans had survived her tests, but the question of their past, their history, their achievements remained. How could a species so underestimated be so capable? She decided it was time to explore what history could reveal. Captain Hale, Leora said, summoning him to her private library, I wish to understand more about humans. Not your present abilities, but your past. I have found some records. Fragments, hints of your species helping Valora long ago. Can you explain? Aaron nodded respectfully. Of course, Your Highness. Humanity has always sought to explore, learn, and survive. We have encountered many challenges and overcome them, often with ingenuity rather than force. Leora led him through the palace archives, a vast chamber filled with floating screens and ancient scrolls. She stopped in front of a series of records sealed in protective energy fields. These, she said, are from the oldest Valoran archives. They speak of humans arriving in Valoran space long ago, helping during a cosmic catastrophe. But much of this has been hidden. Erased from official teaching, Aaron studied the records carefully. I have heard of similar accounts, he said. Humans have long acted as explorers and problem solvers in many systems. Often, records are lost or forgotten. It seems Valora has preserved only fragments. Together, they unlock one of the records. The holographic projection showed scenes of an ancient Valoran city under threat from a massive solar flare. Humans appeared alongside Valoran engineers, coordinating efforts to stabilize energy shields, protect citizens, and repair damaged infrastructure. Their methods were different, less reliant on raw power, more on observation, planning, and rapid adaptation. The projection illustrated humans working calmly under pressure, saving countless lives. Leora's golden eyes widened as she watched. I do not remember learning this, she whispered. Why was this erased? Tyvran, who had followed discreetly, spoke. Centuries ago, some leaders feared human influence would diminish Valoran authority. The truth was hidden, leaving only myths and warnings about human weakness. It was never that humans were incapable, only that their abilities challenged Valoran pride. Leora turned to Aaron. All these years, I believed humans were weak. I dismissed your facts as lies because they did not fit the story I was told. And yet, here is proof that humans have always been remarkable. Aaron inclined his head. History often misunderstands or forgets the truth, Princess. Humans endure because we learn, adapt, and cooperate. That is why we survive challenges that might overwhelm others. The princess fell silent, the weight of realization settling on her shoulders, her pride and her responsibility as heir demanded caution. Yet the evidence before her eyes challenged everything she had ever believed. Then everything I doubted about human reproduction, resilience, and ingenuity. It could all be true, she said softly. It is not just skill or strength. It is their spirit. There will too survive. Aaron smiled faintly. You are beginning to see the truth, Your Highness. Humans are underestimated because our strengths are not always obvious at first glance. We rely on intellect, adaptation, and cooperation more than raw power. Leora's mind raced as she absorbed this new perspective. For generations, Valorans had been taught that humans were fragile, unpredictable, and secondary. Now, the evidence suggested otherwise. Humans had not only survived but had contributed significantly to Valoran history. Quietly and efficiently, this realization unsettled her. She had always prided herself on discernment and judgment, yet she had been deceived not by lies, but by omission. Captain Hale, she said after a long pause. If humans were so crucial in the past, why were your contributions hidden? Why must we continue to doubt you? Perhaps the fear of change, Aaron replied gently. Humans challenge assumptions. They force others to reconsider what is possible. That can be uncomfortable for some. Leora looked at him, golden eyes softened by a mixture of respect and curiosity. I see, and yet, even now, I find it difficult to fully trust what I did not experience myself. History tells part of the story, but living proof, that is more compelling. Aaron nodded. That is why trials, observation, and cooperation matter. Evidence from the past can guide understanding, but real proof comes from action. Suddenly, a warning siren echoed through the palace. The holographic displays in the archives flickered as an alert appeared. A cosmic storm, massive and unpredictable, was approaching Velora. It threatened the city's energy shields, which could leave the capital vulnerable. Leora's eyes widened. The storm, it is stronger than expected. Our systems may fail. Aaron quickly analyzed the data displayed on a nearby console. The storm's intensity is unusual, but it can be managed. The key is rapid coordination and adaptation. Humans are effective in situations like this because we rely on observation, problem solving, and teamwork. The princess's heart raced. This was no simulation. This was real. If Velora failed, countless lives could be at risk. Her pride urged her to handle the situation alone. Yet she sensed the truth. Human ingenuity could be invaluable. Leora turned to Aaron. Her voice steadied despite the tension. Captain Hale, if what you say is true, you may be able to help us survive this storm. Can you coordinate our response? Aaron nodded calmly. Yes, Your Highness. But we must act quickly. Every moment counts. The princess summoned her counselors and explained the plan. At first, many were hesitant to trust a human strategy. Velorans had long relied on technology and hierarchy, not collaboration with outsiders. But Aaron guided them patiently, demonstrating each step and explaining the reasoning behind it. Slowly, the council began to follow, realizing that his methods, while unconventional, were effective. Aaron divided the council into teams, each responsible for specific systems, energy shields, communication networks, and evacuation protocols. He instructed them to observe, adapt, and share information. Veloran engineers, initially skeptical, soon realized that the human method allowed them to anticipate problems before they occurred. Hours passed in tense focus. The storm battered the city, causing surges and power fluctuations. Yet under Aaron's guidance, the team stabilized critical systems. Leora observed from the command balcony, awe and relief mixing in her golden eyes. Humans were not just capable, they were indispensable. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the storm subsided. The city remained intact, its citizens safe. Counselors turned to Aaron, their skepticism replaced by admiration. Leora stepped forward, her voice clear and steady. Captain Hale, today you have proven what words alone could not. Humans are not weak. Humans are remarkable, resilient, and wise. Your history is true, and your actions have saved Velora. Aaron inclined his head respectfully. Thank you, Your Highness. I acted for humanity, but also for your people. Humans thrive when challenges require cooperation, observation, and adaptation. That is why we endure. Leora studied him carefully, her pride softened by newfound understanding. I have long taught that humans were secondary, fragile. But I see now that I was wrong. Not in malice, but in assumption. Humans are capable in ways I never imagined. For the first time, she allowed herself a small smile. Perhaps it is time to reconsider what we know not only about humans, but about the strength of spirit and ingenuity in all species. Captain Hale, you have changed my view of your kind, and perhaps the view of all Velorans. The counselors nodded in agreement, murmuring their approval. Aaron's calm confidence, combined with human ingenuity and resilience, had not only survived scrutiny, but had reshaped understanding. Velora now saw humanity not as weak outsiders, but as allies, capable of remarkable feats. As the sun set over the crystal towers, Leora and Aaron stood side by side, gazing at the city. The storm had passed, but its lesson remained. Survival required more than strength. It required intelligence, patience, cooperation, and the willingness to see beyond prejudice. Humanity had proven itself, and Velora would never forget it. Leora spoke softly, almost to herself, yet loud enough for Aaron to hear. Your facts were not lies. Humanity is truly remarkable. I only wish I had learned this sooner. Aaron smiled faintly. It is never too late, Princess. Understanding and respect can grow at any time. just as humanity grows stronger with every challenge it faces. The stars above Valora twinkled in the night sky, silent witnesses to the events below. Humans and Valorans had faced disbelief, doubt, and fear, but through cooperation and courage, they had forged a new understanding. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries, but one truth was now clear. Humanity's spirit was powerful, resilient, and undeniable. And Princess Leora, once skeptical and proud, now saw the future in a different light, one where humans were allies, not strangers, where intelligence, adaptation, and unity could overcome the greatest challenges, and where the story of humanity could shine across the stars. The next morning, the Valoran sun bathed the palace in warm golden light. Princess Leora, still wary but quietly intrigued, entered the ceremonial chamber where Captain Aaron awaited. Today's challenges would be different. They were not simulations, but real demonstrations of human resilience and adaptability, designed to test the limits of Valoran assumptions about humans. Leora's golden eyes scanned the human calmly, yet she carried an air of authority. "Captain Hale," she said, "I have prepared a series of trials for you. Your performance will determine how Valora regards your species. Fail, and you will confirm what we have always believed: humans are weak. Succeed, and perhaps you may force us to rethink." She paused, her gaze sharp. "Do not disappoint me." Aaron bowed slightly. "I am ready, Your Highness. I hope to show you the truth, not by words, but through action." The first trial was called the Trial of Endurance. A vast arena had been prepared, filled with shifting platforms, swinging bridges, and glowing energy fields designed to test patience, balance, and perseverance. Aaron stepped into the arena, observing the layout. Many Valorans would rely on innate physical abilities, yet he knew humans had a unique advantage: determination, observation, and problem-solving. As he moved forward, the platforms shifted unpredictably. A bridge tilted sharply, then swung back. Energy barriers pulsed around him, forcing careful timing. The Valoran spectators watched silently, expecting difficulty or failure. But Aaron adjusted each step, breathing steadily. His mind calculated angles, weights, and timing. He learned from each misstep, correcting quickly. The trial lasted hours, though the time seemed shorter to Aaron, absorbed in thought and action. When he reached the final platform, the crowd gasped. He had crossed without falling, without panic, without reliance on superhuman power. Only skill, patience, and human ingenuity had carried him. Princess Leora's expression remained unreadable, but a flicker of respect passed across her face before she masked it with her usual sternness. "Interesting," she murmured. "Perhaps humans are more resourceful than I assumed." The second trial was a test of adaptation. Leora led Aaron to a chamber that simulated the harsh conditions of a distant, arid planet. Gravity fluctuated, the atmosphere was thin, and the temperature shifted rapidly. Valorans would struggle to remain comfortable in such conditions. Aaron's body adjusted instinctively. He slowed his breathing, assessed the environment, and moved with care. The thin air made each step harder, but humans were used to endurance. When sudden gravity shifts occurred, he shifted his stance, relying on balance training and focus. Slowly, deliberately, he crossed the chamber, completing the trial. The Valoran council members whispered among themselves. Even they could not deny his skill. Leora folded her arms, hiding her astonishment. HMPH, that was competent, but it does not prove everything you claim about human resilience. Strength alone is not enough. Humans may endure, but can you teach Valorans what humans call community problem-solving? Aaron smiled. "That, Your Highness, I can show." He led Leora and the council to a large room filled with puzzles and mechanical devices. Each device required cooperation and creative thinking to operate. Valorans usually solve problems individually, relying on instinct and personal skill. Humans, however, often succeeded by observing, communicating, and sharing ideas. Aaron began arranging tasks in a sequence that required collaboration. He invited the council members to participate. At first, they hesitated, unsure of his methods. Leora watched, skeptical. Aaron instructed clearly and calmly: observe, communicate, and adapt. Work together. Do not rush. Gradually, the counselors began to understand. Valoran ingenuity was strong, but when combined with human strategist cooperation, division of tasks, and shared observation, the results were faster and more efficient. Devices that had taken hours to operate before now clicked into place within minutes. Leora's golden eyes widened, though she kept her voice measured. This is impressive. Humans do not rely on strength alone. You rely on mind and unity. She paused. Yet still, you claim something more, about reproduction and survival. Can this be proven? Aaron nodded. It is not just strength or intellect, Princess. Humans survive because we learn quickly, adapt, and maintain social bonds. These bonds allow us to recover from hardship, to grow stronger after challenges. I cannot demonstrate it in a single day, but I can show how humans plan for the future and protect one another. For this demonstration, Aaron led the Valorans to a simulation of a natural disaster's sudden energy surge that threatened to collapse the room. Humans are known for problem-solving under pressure, and Aaron relied on this. He coordinated the counselors, assigning roles, guiding actions, and encouraging cooperation. Slowly, they stabilized the situation. What might have been chaos turned into calm efficiency under his guidance. Leora could no longer hide her astonishment. She had been taught that humans were fragile. Yet this human calmly coordinated a group to survive conditions that many Valorans would have found overwhelming. Her pride made it difficult to admit, but her mind could not ignore the evidence after the trials. Leora asked to speak with Aaron privately. She led him to a balcony overlooking the city. The golden sunlight reflected off the spires, painting the city in shimmering colors. Leora leaned on the railing, silent for a moment, as if measuring her thoughts. Captain Hale, she said finally, you have proven much today. I cannot deny your skill and your methods. Humans are remarkable in ways I did not expect. Her voice was softer than usual, tinged with wonder. Yet still, I do not fully believe all you say. Your reproductive facts, your survival statistics, they are difficult for a Valoran mind to comprehend. Aaron nodded. I understand, Princess. Humans are unusual, and sometimes difficult to explain to those unfamiliar with our species. It is not a matter of boasting, it is simply how we have survived in many worlds. Strength, adaptability, cooperation, and perseverance allow humans to endure what others cannot. Leora's gaze drifted to the horizon. Her mind was conflicted. Part of her clung to tradition, to the lessons she had learned all her life. Yet another part, a small but growing part, recognized the truth in Arn's words. Humans were more than their size, more than their biology. They were clever, resilient, and surprisingly capable. Perhaps she had been wrong to dismiss them so completely. The princess turned to Aaron. Tomorrow, there will be another trial. It will test not only your endurance, but your ability to demonstrate human spirit. If humans are truly remarkable, you will show it there. Her tone was still formal, but a spark of curiosity lit her golden eyes. I will do my best, Aaron replied calmly. It is not just for myself, Princess. It is for humanity. To show your people what we are capable of. Leora studied him for a moment. Then, almost imperceptibly, she nodded. She had not yet accepted everything he said, but she was beginning to see the truth. The truth was stronger than disbelief, stronger than pride. It was a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. As Aaron returned to his quarters, he reflected on the day's events. Valorans were intelligent and proud, but they had been misled by tradition and assumptions about humans. Patience, evidence, and careful demonstration could overcome prejudice. Humanity had faced similar skepticism countless times before. They had always endured, and now, even on Valora, the seeds of understanding were being planted. That night, Princess Leora could not sleep. She paced her chambers, thinking of Aaron, of the trials, of human resilience. Her pride warred with curiosity. Could it be possible that humans were truly as remarkable as he claimed? Could it be that everything she had been taught about them was wrong? The questions weighed on her, more persistent than she liked to admit. Meanwhile, Aaron prepared for the next day. The final trial was not yet revealed to him, but he suspected it would be a combination of mental, physical, and social challenges. Humans thrive under pressure, especially when trust and cooperation were required. Whatever Lior had planned, he felt ready. Humanity's story on Velora was only beginning, and the coming days would determine whether the princess and her people would finally see humans as more than fragile creatures. The stars above Velora twinkled as always, indifferent to the struggles of those below. But for Eren and Liora, the galaxy had suddenly become smaller, more interconnected, and full of possibilities. The challenge was real, but so was the opportunity to bridge the species through respect, understanding, and the undeniable proof of human ingenuity. As the night deepened, Princess Liora whispered to herself, almost as if confessing a secret, perhaps. Humans are more than I ever imagined. The stars above Velora shone like countless tiny diamonds scattered across black velvet. From space, the kingdom looked peaceful, elegant, and powerful. Giant spires rose from the surface, glowing with soft light. The capital city of Velora was known throughout nearby systems for its beauty and order. Yet, beneath its shimmering towers, tensions quietly stirred. Captain Eren Hale floated through the landing bay of Velora's central station, adjusting the straps of his exploration suit. Humans were considered mysterious in this part of the galaxy. Many species assumed they were fragile, short-lived, and simple. Eren, however, knew the truth. Humans were resilient, clever, and capable of remarkable things. Today, he had come to Velora on a peaceful research mission, hoping to share knowledge and learn about the Velorans' advanced technology. "Welcome, Captain Hale," a melodic voice called. Eren turned to see Ambassador Tyvran, a tall Veloran with glowing silver eyes and a long cloak of royal blue. His skin shimmered faintly in the light. "The princess is eager to meet you. I hope your stay is enlightening." The word carried a subtle warning, but Eren simply smiled. "I am honored," he said, bowing slightly. "I hope I can learn much from your people as well." They walked through a corridor lined with luminous panels, each displaying historical records of Velora. Some depicted peaceful trade missions, others grand battles. Eren noted the elegance of the architecture. Everything had been designed to impress and inspire respect. Yet, despite the beauty, he sensed tension in the air, like a storm waiting to break. Finally, they entered the main hall of the palace, a vast room with towering ceilings and transparent walls showing the glittering city below. Standing near a raised platform was Princess Liora, heir to the Veloran throne. Her hair shimmered like molten silver, and her eyes glowed faintly gold, a rare sign of her royal bloodline. She regarded Eren with curiosity, but there was also something sharper in her gaze. "A challenge, Captain Eren Hale," Tyvran said formally. "This is Princess Liora. She has been studying human history and anatomy. Perhaps you can answer some questions for her." Eren bowed again. "Your Highness, it is an honor." Liora did not bow. She simply stared at him, arms crossed. "So, you claim that humans can survive harsh worlds? That you can adapt faster than many species here?" "That you can." She hesitated, lowering her voice. "Breed and recover population numbers quickly after disasters?" Her tone was incredulous, almost angry. Eren felt a chill. Many Velorans were wary of human biology, but none had spoken so bluntly. "Yes, Your Highness," he said calmly. "Humans are resilient. We can survive in extreme environments, and our population can recover even after severe setbacks. This is one of our strengths as a species." Leora's eyes narrowed. "You lie," she exclaimed. "That is impossible. Humans are small and fragile. You cannot survive like Velorans do. You cannot reproduce like this." She waved her hands dismissively, as if brushing aside an absurd idea. The room grew tense. Tyvran shifted uncomfortably. "Princess," he began, but Liora ignored him. She turned fully to Eren. "How can I believe you? You speak of facts no Veloran has ever witnessed. You speak of things that challenge everything we know about life and survival. You must be lying." Eren kept his tone steady, careful not to show irritation. "I understand your disbelief, Princess. Humans are often underestimated, but my claims are not lies. I can show you evidence, If you wish or demonstrate our abilities, Leora's expression hardened. You cannot. No human has ever proven such power. I will not believe you without proof. You may speak, but your words are empty. A hush fell over the hall. The counselors present whispered among themselves. Many of them were curious. Some had doubts about Valoran assumptions regarding humans. Others were proud and defensive, unwilling to accept that a human could challenge their beliefs. Aaron inhaled slowly. If you wish, Your Highness, I can show you through trials rather than words. You may witness what humans can endure and how we adapt. Leora's golden eyes flashed. She leaned forward slightly. Trials, very well. But I warn you, if you fail, you will embarrass your entire species. And if you succeed, her voice softened ever so slightly, then perhaps, just perhaps, you will change my view. But you must begin immediately. No delay. Aaron nodded. I am ready. The first trial was simple in explanation but challenging in practice. The Crystal Maze, a Valoran simulation designed to test intelligence and patience under unusual conditions. Aaron entered the maze cautiously. Crystalline walls shifted subtly, reflecting light in ways that could confuse any traveler. Gravity occasionally fluctuated, making balance difficult. Yet, Aaron moved carefully, observing patterns. He remembered his human training focus, adaptability, and calm observation. Step by step, he navigated the maze, solving puzzles and adjusting to the minor gravity shifts. Hours passed, though time seemed shorter inside the maze. Finally, he emerged, unharmed and triumphant. Leora's eyes widened, though she quickly masked her surprise with a stern glare. HMPH, she said. Perhaps that was a fluke. Aaron smiled politely. Humans learn quickly. Patterns are a strength of ours. I can also demonstrate adaptation in other ways. The second trial was physical, exposure to a low-gravity chamber simulating a harsh alien planet. Valorans often believe that humans would fail, unable to adjust to shifting energy fields and unfamiliar gravity. Aaron stepped into the chamber. The gravity fluctuated unpredictably, and the air felt thinner than normal. He adjusted his stance, controlled his breathing, and moved deliberately. Step by step, he adapted, using muscle memory and observation rather than force. Leora watched closely, fascinated despite herself. Aaron completed the trial with ease, demonstrating remarkable human adaptability. Impossible. Leora whispered under her breath. She shook her head, refusing to admit it aloud. You, humans. You. Her words trailed off as she struggled with disbelief. Aaron approached her calmly. Your Highness, it is not magic or trickery. Humans have survived many worlds, learned from challenges, and built societies stronger for it. Our resilience is part of our nature. Leora's golden eyes narrowed, torn between pride and curiosity. She had been taught to see humans as weak. Every fact Aaron presented challenged her deepest beliefs. Yet, she could not deny the evidence before her eyes. Her pride resisted, but a small spark of respect began to form meanwhile. Counselors whispered excitedly. Some quietly acknowledged that Aaron's trials were impressive. Others debated whether to accept the new evidence or maintain Valoran tradition. Leora felt the pressure. Her role as princess demanded strength and wisdom. Yet she was personally confronted with undeniable proof that humans were more remarkable than she had ever imagined. The day ended with Leora dismissing Aaron for rest. Though her mind could not stop racing, she walked along the balcony of the palace, staring at the stars. Could humans truly be so capable? Could the species that Valorans had long underestimated hold secrets even the Valoran Council had ignored? She clenched her fists, determined. I will not believe fully yet, she whispered. They may survive, but how can I accept everything they claim about life and reproduction? That is beyond my understanding. Aaron, in his quarters, reviewed the trials in his mind. He knew Leora's pride was a challenge, but also a doorway. Humans had always faced disbelief and prejudice, yet they adapted, endured, and earned respect. Tomorrow would bring another set of trials, perhaps closer to the truth she needed to see. He felt confident. Humanity had overcome worse, and patience often revealed their worth more than force ever could. The stars over Valora continued to shine. The galaxy was vast, full of wonder and danger. Yet one small human, calm and determined, had begun to change the opinion of an entire royal lineage. The journey had only begun, and already the seeds of respect were planted. Humanity's story, full of resilience and ingenuity, was about to unfold in ways Valora had never imagined, and Princess Leora, proud and stubborn, would be the first to witness it and perhaps learn that the truths she refused to believe were not lies at all.